Jeremy Irons has kicked up a storm with his recent comments about his love of touching people.
Which obviously leads us to ask the question, is it ever OK for a man to touch a woman's bottom? Would you see it as rude and offensive or just a bit of fun? That's our debate. I'm resisting doing it.
I know. Me too, though!
See you after the news. Right, Jeremy Irons caused a commotion with his recent comments about his love of touching people, which got us thinking, is it ever acceptable for a man to touch a woman's bottom? Is it old-fashioned to frown upon a flirty bum pinch, or is it downright rude and offensive?
Well, journalists Liz Fraser and Laurie Penny are joining us to debate this hot topic right now. Liz say it weakens women to complain every time someone touches them, and Laurie thinks it's an outdated gesture bordering on sexual harassment.
Well, as we debate this issue, you can tell us who you're siding with by voting on our worm. You can see it at the bottom of the screen now. There it is. Just go to our website if you would like to interact with us. Let's start by saying actually what he did or didn't say. So this is from the Radio Times, and Jeremy Irons said, if a man puts his hand on a woman's bottom, this is what is alleged to have been said, any woman worth her salt can't deal with it. It's can deal with it. It's communication. Now, in an interview with The Times this month, he said, he sort of corrected that and said, I love touching. I always touch people. I don't think I said the word bottom, but of course I was misquoted. Basically, I said that any self-respecting woman would tell you, if she minded, they're very robust as human beings. I hate people when I was younger. I had people when I was younger trying to feel me up. Older men. I just told them to get lost. There are people who are victims in life, and I don't think that they should be encouraged. So that's what he said. Yep. I think it took a little bit of clarification there. I'm not sure that he actually said the word bottom.
Okay.
The worst word in the world.
The worst word in the world, bottom. Would you like me to say bum instead? Is it right or wrong?
Well, it depends on context, doesn't it? It's a question of, it's not just a question of consent, and it's a question of manners. We're not even talking about feminism here. It's about whether or not somebody wants you to touch them. And surely we're living in the 21st century. This is not 1953. We should have some kind of social dialogue whereby it's all right to touch someone if somebody wants you to touch them. Surely, surely.
I would agree with that. If I don't want somebody to touch them, I will tell them to touch me. I will tell them that I don't. And in fact, this is the point that he made and that we're talking about this morning. And he said that any woman worth her salt will say she doesn't like it. Philip, you're very welcome to touch my bottom if you'd like to. If I don't want you to, I will tell you that I don't want you to, because I'm a woman. I'm not a child.
I'm confused now as a man.
I bet you are.
You just said you're very welcome to, and I'll tell you if you don't want me to. I don't know what to do.
Well, would you like him to?
Our job, Philip, is to completely confuse you so that you have no idea what you're doing, and then we will cry some terrible cry. And of course we have to be very careful, because there are instances where this becomes problematic, and when people constantly do this, and then of course there are systems in place. But what we have to be very careful of is not creating huge background noise and always saying, oh, this is harassment, oh, this is, he's offending me, or she, by the way, because women do the same also to men.
Well,
it's not only men.
I think his comment about that, women are perfectly capable of sticking up for themselves. Yes, I kind of agree with that. And when I thought this morning, if somebody touched my bum and I didn't want them to, I kept thinking, well, I'd go berserk. And I would. But then we're actually really thinking about it if it happened. First of all, I'd be so shocked. I'd just think, I can't believe that's just happened.
Really? Would
then
you be really surprised?
I'd be completely shocked. I'd be completely shocked. And then I think, oh my goodness, I better not make a scene. And that would be an overriding feeling. And then my next overriding feeling would be, did I do something to make them think that was all right?
It's about,
and all of those things I think are almost wrong, that it puts that in question on you. To me, now I'm questioning myself, going, did I do something that he thinks that's okay to touch my bum?
It's about whether or not we want to be living in a world where we're expecting to be groped any time. Because it's not just about touching people's bottoms. If you say touching people's bottoms, this is like carry on. This is not carry on. We're talking about groping and harassment here. It's very different if you touch the bum of someone who you know wants to be touched, and if you just grab a stranger in the street.
Well, let's look at it. Hang
on. If I take a girl out for dinner, say, and we're having a lovely time, and we're flirting and having drinks, and then she gets up to go to the bathrooms, and I grab her. That's rude, isn't it? Isn't that really rude?
And could she not? Do you not think it would be more mature and grown up of her if she didn't like it to turn around and say, "Hey, listen, do you know what? I've just got my hand on your arm. I don't like that." Or would it? Do you think it's more correct and a grown-up kind of social response to say, "I think you're sexually harassing me"?
No, I think she would be perfectly justified to think I was a terrible person.
Well,
She didn't want to be on a date with.
Listen, I have
it's
3
awful,
children.
isn't it?
Okay, you have no children. Now I have children, and we have children sitting around here. A lot of people watching have children, and what I worry about is my children growing up in a culture where we are constantly on the lookout for abuse, for inappropriate behaviour, and for reporting. We are constantly suspicious. The NSPCC recently, we were on this programme actually discussing the new campaign where they want people to report people before they're even sure. When something bad happens to my children, who of teenagers now, the first thing they will say is, "We should sue." I just think that's a horrific culture to live in.
I'm very worried by your suggestion that child abuse is somehow over-reported. 1 in 6 children, 1 in 4 young women are abused.
No, I don't want to stray into that because that's a much bigger.
We're talking about harassment and the culture.
What I'm talking about now is that's quite important because that's a very big and important issue. So what I'm talking about now, and this is the so I wanted to create a little scenario for you. You're walking through a door, and a gentleman opens the door for you as you walk through, or a lady opens the door for you as you walk through, and as you go through, just sort of taps you on the bottom and says, "There you go."
See, I couldn't bear it. I mean, I'd be really cross. I'd be really, really cross. But then I don't know whether I'd be so shocked. I can't work out
what would
I
you say?
would be upset about.
Would you turn around and say, "Excuse me, I just politely would like to say that's unacceptable"?
See, I would do nothing.
What would you do? You would not
I would do nothing. I would do nothing
not?
because if it became a repeated thing that every time this happened, that would really annoy me.
So how many gropes are okay? 1, 3, 8?
It doesn't bother me. Do you know what? Because there are so much bigger things going on in the world.
Whether somebody touches that door now.
Would you really like
25 people in this room? If anyone would, I really don't mind because it doesn't bother me. It's not something that I'm going to lose.
Mad.
If you walk past a building site and you get wolf whistle,
that's different. That's not touching. It's not touching.
Yeah, but it's not enough for me to go to the point of making an official
What if they tapped you on the boobs? What if you walked past and they just went, "Wrong"? I'm just asking, where is okay to touch you on your body when you don't want it?
If someone went wrong as I walked out of the door, I would just
You
say...
cannot say that you would find that acceptable or that you would
I wouldn't
you
find it
go
acceptable.
Off, bang.
Would you? Well, I think we should try it. I think we should try it because I've no idea.
We can try it afterwards if you like.
Oh, I'm not going to do it this week. I'll just take you by surprise in a couple of weeks' time.
Good. I'm going to hold you to that, Philip.
What do you say?
I think this is just about manners and politeness and living in a modern world where it's not...
I find easily outraged.
No, I think it is absolutely... What I think is outrageous is that we're even having this conversation in 2013. Surely, I don't know who these guys are who think it's all right to go just to grab people. It's so old-fashioned.
It's women as well,
ridiculous.
though. Women do the same. And also, actually, quite seriously, some people are more tactile than others, OK? I'm a very tactile person, so if I'm talking to you, I won't here, but I would, quite say, "Oh, I know, I saw this thing the other day," and I could put my hand on your knee. That would be a very normal thing for me to do in a normal discourse of, with somebody. And I would be very upset if you were to take that as some sort of pressure on you or that I was making advances.
But it's about power play, isn't it? It's about who can or cannot touch you in different... Because it's like if strangers in the street, men who you're not sure if they're going to... If a touch is going to be all it is, or if they're going to be more threatening or violent. This is about... I think it's high time that we have a generation of girls that can grow up expecting that they can walk around in public place and not be groped and harassed. Surely that's what
Let's leave it there. I have to leave it there.
We have to leave it there.
Let's have a look at the worm. Here it is.
Oh, dear, look, I'm not doing very well, am I?
65% say they're with you.
It's the hat, isn't it?
And Liz, you got 35%. And let me just say that something like that would not happen in this building. I'll tell you that right now.
Next time, that's what I mean.
Run the BT.
I was about to say run B2. There's the evidence here. Oh, no! Have you just done what I think... Well, the handprints to prove
that was
the
different.
hands were on the bottom. But that's different because you're a friend and that's okay. But if it was a stranger, you know what would happen.
Oh, get a deeper water.
Right, I think we need to hear what you're saying. That's probably safest. Emma, what's the feedback in the hub?
I love those handprints. They're brilliant. Loads of feedback in the hub from men and women. Rosie Standford said, "Of course it's all right. There's no point in getting uptight about it. I just have a good grope back." Laura Hutchby says it's an invasion of personal space and completely unacceptable. That said, I think part of me would take it as a compliment. And Vicky Coleman says, "I'm not a prude and I like having a laugh, but I think it's not acceptable when I'm having an evening out and young lads and men are grabbing you. It's crude and it's disrespectful. I'm married now." and only my husband has the right to touch me. And from a man's point of view, Adam Lee, I think it depends if it's a random person or someone you know. If it's someone... if it's someone they know, then clearly it's a bit of a joke. If it's a random stranger, then that would be slightly weird, which I kind of agree with. Christopher says, I don't think I like the idea. Someone pitching my bum means just one thing, and that's a flirty come on. Why on earth does anyone, male or female, need to touch my bottom? Brett, keep your hands to yourself. We'll be back later.
Thanks, guys.